Hello and welcome to the Labirinto audio guide. I am Eduardo the Purple Dreamer, the Labirinto creator, and I'm gonna use this space to talk about some of the stuff that goes in my mind when I'm exploring this art form. So this will work like this. I'm gonna suggest you to open one token I've minted, and we're gonna talk about it and get the surrounding subjects around that topic. So for today, I see no better way to start than going from the beginning. So let's go into Nunc object number 16,935, the ceremonial vase number 1. Yeah, so we're gonna start by asking ourselves, who is Eduardo and who is Ajmarola, and why is he doing that? So we're gonna start with that. I'm gonna say again, hello, I am Eduardo also known as Edmarola. And why does this vase represent me, and why did I choose this vase to be my first minted piece, and kind of like one of the first pieces in the Labyrinto series? But first, I am a digital artist, a musician. I started working with music and sound design in 2008, and I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Tropical chaos. Yep. It's a rainy morning here in Rio. Maybe you can listen to the rain. Maybe you can listen to some birds too. Like, I live in a distant part of the town where it's kind of a park inside a park. It can be nice sometimes. It can be too chaotic most of the time, and it can be very violent for people with less fortunate people. So yeah, it's a complicated place. If you ever wanna talk about it, yep. Let's not digress that much, okay? And who is Ajmarola? That is another question. This is a question that I have to answer looking at this vase, looking at the closed eyelids in the upper part of the vase. And Ajmarola is kind of a lyrical self, or more accurately, a onirical self. So the dreamer. Ajmarola is the purple dreamer. So Ajmarola brings all that I think and study and read and talk to people and see and love and create, and Ajmarola turns all that into purple dream. And I say that not that I like to talk about myself in the third person. I really don't. But Ajmarola, by the way, Marola means gentle waves in Portuguese. It's a kind of a slang. It's also used to convey marijuana highs, and it comes from the time that I had a band with friends, and they used to smoke a lot, and I couldn't stand up to their rhythm. It was too much for me, so they called me Ajmarola, because I would be just on the marola of the thing, so just on the gentle waves and not ride the big waves with the boys. I would go in my own pace, and that's good because I have a lot of sinus, and the smoke sometimes get me allergic. So this is where Edmarola comes from. It's an onirical self. It's a part of me that dreams, and I have like not just sleeping dreams, but vigilant dreams, like daydreams too, and translates that into that black and white, I mean purple and that orange, strange orange tone. But yeah, what is the Labirinto? We're gonna start just like going through this very base concepts, because I mean I've been talking about this for more than a year now, but never got to formalize any of that. So I think maybe you can appreciate a bit better if you know all this stuff. Labirinto is a digital art series exploring the current human condition and the symbols in today's capitalistic mythology. So capitalistic mythology, I guess, is the main thing here. Is the understanding that we're living this present time, and we're building knowledge about how stuff is and what is reality, and this construction of this understanding, I call it mythology because it is mythology. Everything is mythology by someone. It's not the truth at all. It's just interpretations, and all humans can afford to understand is interpretation. I don't believe we can have a glimpse of truth, because I don't even know if that exists. But we go there maybe in another episode. So when we look at ceremonial vase number 1, it's this squared pixel art, and the description says it's pixel pottery. It states the size of the PNG file, and says this item was it's from the 21st century of Common Era. These vases were found inside the ceremonial chamber at the Labyrinth under a dream. So the Labyrinth, or Labirinto, is this digital art series that explores this mythology, but from a dreamer stand. It's a kind of a pixel art surrealistic view of that, and it talks a lot about who am I and who is the artist, because it will give you this. The vase is something rooted in my childhood, because in my childhood my mother used to make vases, ceramic vases, at our place, and she had a studio, and she would be making vases, and I loved it. And she's still an artist. She still makes some vases, glass vases, and pottery vases as well. So it speaks to my early relationship to art, and it also talks about my generation, that I'm a son of the 80s, and I was raised with Super Nintendo and stuff, and looking for valuable stuff in vases, in all of the Zelda games and other and other games, or maybe jumping over turtles with Mario and destroying boxes looking for stuff. So the vase, this ornamental vase, it means something that must be inside. And what's inside this vase? I'm under the impression that what's inside is probably love. Not romantic love, but just this abstract love. But I'm not sure. I would have to open the vase, but I can't open it. So this is my best guess. What kind of ceremony does it serve? Because it's a ceremonial vase, right? And this will bring us into this world and this very first feelings that I had when I was a kid, and I wanted to be a writer or maybe an archaeologist. I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to explore other societies, other people, or people from a distant past, mysteries, because we can only assume what they meant by their art and their writings or their objects, their traditions, their images. And this is where I think art gets mixed with history and archaeology and anthropology. I went into anthropology school for a few years. I did not graduate from it, but I like to read about it still. And we don't know what kind of ceremony, does the NFT thing serves for. So again, in this capitalistic mythology, what does this new token economy means? Where will it lead us? And I'm glad I did this as my first mint. I guess I had this archaeological. Even though at the moment this was extremely new, I already had the perception that someday that will be old, and that kind of nostalgia is what drove me, I guess, and what's keep driving me from time to time. So yeah, this is ceremonial vase number 1. We've been talking for 13 minutes about it. Maybe I can do a few more minutes before wrapping up this first episode. But I must say I'm happy to start doing this. I'm happy to receive questions and suggestions on other stuff. I can say today that this token is available on secondary market for 50 pesos by Bully Meow. And what else can we say about it? For next episode, let's dive a little bit more into the dream thing. But I can say already it's a subject I really enjoy, and I was very influenced by a book called The Oráculo da Noite. I don't know the direct translation. I know this book has been translated to English, but it's from a Brazilian neuroscientist, and he writes it's a big book. I'm not gonna try to define it in one sense, but if I have to, it talks about how dreams shape reality, actually. How the dream is a biological tool used by humans and most other animals, especially the mammals. All mammals dream. We dream a lot. We dream every day. It's a fundamental part of who we are, and yet it's a mystery. So yeah, we like to get ourselves lost in these mysteries. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up saying for you to have nice purple dreams. Yeah, and we see in the next episode. Thank you.